What cancer treatments?
I have leukemia.
Okay. Okay. And do you have proof of that or you just, Mr. Prince? It appears you have a problem with stealing. Why do you steal? Well, I mean, you did for some reason you were revoked. You're subject to the full range of punishment, and that's up to 20 years in the prison. So you have
What you just watched, that was the breaking point. A routine theft trial suddenly becomes a high-stakes medical mystery. You've seen the shock, but what's really happening behind the scenes? You haven't seen the hidden contradictions that led the judge to issue this 20-year ultimatum. This is Walter Prince. He's facing decades behind bars for a problem with stealing. But Walter has a secret: he's battling leukemia. His defense denies any mental health issues, yet his constant stammers and missed evaluations suggest something deeper is wrong. Is Walter a man struggling to survive, or is he using a terminal illness as a strategic shield? At stake is a 6-year gamble that determines if he spends his final days in a hospital or a prison cell. To understand the courtroom psychology and how lies get caught, hit subscribe for more breakdowns. Let's go back to the beginning and see how this unfolded.
all right. Who's next?
Page 17, first one down, Walter Prince. PSI, sorry. Why didn't you stick?
This was we're pending.
Sign in.
All right. I don't have a copy of the PSI.
Right, Judge. So this is one, remember, last week we talked and there were several instances where Mr. Prince did not appear for the investigation, and we reset the PSI, but you said you still wanted to see what was going on with him, why he did not appear.
All right.
Would you like my notes, my email change?
No, we're good.
Okay, and on the system, it only indicates PSI and TAP.
Yes.
I don't know why they thought maybe that he needed a mental health evaluation.
No, it said, I asked that and they said there's no
No.
request for it.
Yeah, so they did say that he is scheduled for some kind of evaluation on Tuesday, but if that is the case where he does not need it, then we can take that off the calendar.
All right. Walter Prince.
And that recent date is January the 13th.
January 13th.
Yes.
It was nice.
Hello, Mr. Prince. Hi. Hi. Why do you keep missing your TAP evaluation and your PSI?
Set the date wrong the first time I did, when I went in, they see me, but, they had rescheduled. Yeah, I just went Tuesday, and, we finished the what's called a scheduling date for January the 6th. Psych evaluation.
No, that's not supposed to be scheduled. I asked you all whether or not there were some mental health issues and your defense counsel told me no. So are there mental health issues with you? Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental health issue? Have you ever been on, you need to speak up, I can't hear you. Have you ever been on any type of medications?
No, ma'am.
The only medications he's been on, Your Honor, that I'm aware of is his cancer treatment.
Okay.
He has not informed me of being diagnosed with anything like bipolar or any of those other things with respect to any type of psychotropic drugs or treatments. So I do not have any knowledge. I only am basing what Mr. Prince has told me about his history regarding mental health.
What cancer treatments?
I have leukemia.
Okay.
Got some things before.
Okay. And do you have proof of that or are you just taking his word?
If I may, Your Honor, I have about 55 pages of medical records. They're not exactly complete. They came from his mother. I can turn those to the court right now. Let me get to my file, John.
All right. Mr. Prince, if you'll have a seat. All right, we have the interpreter here for,
Mr. Rodriguez,
yes.
you don't let him know. He's on that session. Give me that.
I need to get Mr. Prince's paperwork so they can change it to silent. They just need to go on the record.
Judge, okay, sorry, third one, no. Danielle Garcia.
Danielle Garcia.
Good morning, Judge. We are
Good morning.
present, Your Honor.
Just stand right there, right behind that black line now.
Stand right there.
All right.
Why, we're gonna be on the record.
Thank you. So state, did you tender an offer?
I did, yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
set this for a plea deadline date, that first week in January. And I'll need an acknowledgement of discovery completed. All right, thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
January 7th is going to be your plea deadline date. At that time, you need to let the court know whether you're entering a plea or not. If you don't, then you're set for jury trial.
Okay.
All right, just have a seat. And once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Yes, I would be ready.
All right. Man, a little cold breeze of wind just came from somewhere. All right, Walter Prince. Court is calling 2025 CR 006467. State versus Walter Prince. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Joseph Appelt.
And you're Mr. Prince?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Prince, you entered a plea bargain agreement with the state to count one. The enhancement was found to be true. My understanding is that the plea bargain agreement, the state is to remain silent on your application, and punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years. And there's to be no contact with UT Health Science Center except for medical treatment. All right, Mr. Prince. It appears you have a problem with stealing. So why, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Walter Prince.
All right, why do you steal? Why are you stealing? Well, I mean, you do know, because it takes some thought to do it. And let me just tell you, the only reason why the state is silent, the only reason why you're going to receive probation for this from this court is because of your medical issues. And I know that the jail and the prison system, they're not 100% equipped to provide you treatment you need for your leukemia. Otherwise, you should be going to prison. And obviously, maybe there's something mentally going on with you. Usually I know when people are going through treatment, sometimes they need therapists for mental health. because sometimes treatment is a roller coaster. You're doing great, you're not doing great. So I understand that. And your attorney has brought to the state's attention and to the court's attention the fact that it is true that that's your diagnosis, that you have been receiving treatment. And that is why you've been at the Health Science Center. So this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to grant your application. However, I will only grant your application if you're applying for deferred adjudication. And I do have your application for deferred adjudication. And I'm going to place you on deferred adjudication. And you know why I'm doing that? Because if for some reason you were revoked, you're subject to the full range of punishment, and that's up to 20 years in the prison. So you had better not steal anymore. You understand? If you want things, you need to work for things, and you can not use the fact that you have medical issues as an excuse to steal. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. The mouse is slow.
One factor and component I think the court needs to be aware of as well, in his medical records, it does indicate that he has been diagnosed with partial idiopathic epilepsy with seizures.
Okay.
So that'd be a physical thing, not a mental issue. However, I'm not sure how that would be addressed other than through medical procedures and medical medication.
Okay. All right, there's going to be 6 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Are you employed? So how do you support yourself?
I'm getting assistance from my family.
Okay, I cannot hear you. You're going to have to speak up.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm getting assistance from my family.
Okay. And do you live with someone or you live by yourself?
By myself.
All right. Do you have any children?
They drive.
All right. There's going to be proof of employment within 45 days or proof of SSI within 45 days. Or you can provide medical documentation that he's unable to work, and that needs to be done within 45 days. If not, he'll obtain employment, and he's not allowed to have any employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be no contact with the Health Science Center except for treatment. Restitution, if any, to Melinda Stelp, STELPFLUG. There's going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require the anti-theft course. And Ms. Abrams, when is his MIC evaluation scheduled? All right. And he's to attend the MIC evaluation. If you miss that evaluation, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. You understand? All right. Field visits, 1 time per month for 8 months. Probation, is there anything else?
No, sir.
Do y'all need him to do a medical release?
Judge. His officer will go over that with them, Judge.
All right, so you'll need to provide any type of medical information. If your doctor says you aren't able to work, you'll need to provide that to probation, and you need to do that within 45 days. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes,
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
yes.
All right, you had better follow through on everything, otherwise it's not gonna go well. You understand? All right, just have a seat. Probation will go over conditions with you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
The decision's final. Walter Prince walked away with 6 years of deferred adjudication instead of prison. But here's the question. Was justice actually served? Or was this a dangerous exception made for a chronic thief? Comment below Team Prince or Team Prosecution. If you were the judge, would you have ruled the same way? If this case got you thinking, hit like. Share this with your true crime friends to see where they stand.